Hello students, in today's class we are going to do sets again. In the last session we had introduction of the sets. In the last session we had studied some points of that session are it serves as a fundamental part of the present day mathematics. Its concepts are being used in almost every branch of mathematics. It is used to define the concepts of relations and functions. Its concepts are needed in study of geometry, sequences, probability, etc. So we had discussed in the last class these things. So we had discussed these things in the last session we had on sets. That was introduction. Its concepts are needed in study of geometry, sequences and probability, etc. Actually geometry we have already studied and we will study, and sequences we have some knowledge of it, and probability extensively uses this concepts of sets and their representation. The next topic was sets and their representation. The next thing we discussed was sets and their representations. We had studied two things there. We represent sets by two methods or two ways: set builder method and roster method. Set builder methods are also known as definition method, as we write definition of the set there. Actually we write definitions such that all the elements are represented by that definition. So it is known as definition method as well. And we have roster method. This is known as list method as well. List method, why we say it list method? It is known as list method because we need to write all the elements appearing in the set there. Now we will study one thing, that is concept of distinct elements. Actually set is defined as the group of well-defined distinct objects. Well-defined and distinct objects. That means if there is some repetition in the set, that will be counted as only once. That means if we have a set in which we have 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Now when we will count its elements there, it will be 1, 2, and now it will not be counted because we have already counted 2, so it will not be counted. Now we will count 3, 4, 5, and again this 5 will not be counted, so there will be 5 elements in it. There will be 5 elements in it. Though we are here, we can see that it apparently looks like we are having 7 elements in this set, but there are only 5 elements. Actually we need to count the distinct elements in the set. We give below few more examples of sets used particularly in mathematics. These are very much of importance because these sets are related to the number system, and number systems are extensively used in mathematics. Now the first set is natural numbers, set of natural numbers. What natural numbers mean? Natural numbers are used to count the things. Actually these were the first numbers, but first group of numbers which were invented, and when we write it in roster form, it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. So it is the set of natural numbers which starts with 1 and it goes on and on, that means there is no upper bound is there. Any counting we can represent by natural numbers. Now next comes is the group of integers, and before that we had a whole number, group of whole numbers represented by W, which includes 0 and the set of natural numbers. 0 and set of natural numbers means all the elements in the natural numbers will also be there, and one more element will be there, that is the whole number. Then comes the group of integers, in which we have, if we write z in the roster form, it will be minus dot dot dot. First of all it will be dot dot dot, then it will be minus 3, let us suppose minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on will be there. Then comes the numbers in between any two of these integers, that will be of course be decimal numbers, and it is like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc. Then comes the set of rational numbers. Actually rational numbers are represented by the decimal number, so it will be more easy to write its set builder form than to write its roster form, because of its it contains so many elements, and we cannot list the numbers lying between 0 and 1. All the rational numbers lying between 0 and 1 cannot be listed. We cannot write all of them. So rational numbers are defined. We write the definition of rational number like P by Q, such that P and Q are set of rational numbers are represented by Q, and it is written as P by Q, where P belongs to integer, Q belongs to integer. And here there is one more thing there, that Q should not be equal to 0. So it is defined like this. Now we will consider the set of real numbers. Set of real numbers also cannot be listed, so it is not that easy to write in roster form. So we usually use it as an interval. We will see actually how we write the set of real numbers as an interval, but for the time being we can define it like any number whose square is positive. Now z plus is the set of all positive integers. Positive integers are kept in the group of z plus, positive integers. Now the next is Q plus, and Q plus is indicative of that we are talking about positive rational numbers. So we have positive rational number. Group of positive rational numbers are denoted by Q plus, and R plus positive real numbers. Positive real numbers. Right, so these are the sets of number system which are extensively used in mathematics, and we will use them without the reference. That means we will not always write that x belonging to n, and then we will explain what n does mean there. So it will be, if we have x belonging to n, that means we are talking about x belonging to the set of natural numbers. Or on the other hand, let us take another example. If we are saying x is belonging to r, that means we are saying that we are talking about a number which is lying in the set of real numbers. Let us now define an empty set. What empty set will be like? An empty set, consider a set in which we have no element. This is the empty set because there is no element there, it is empty, and it is represented by phi. We will have a special representation for empty set, and formally we define empty set as a set which has no element. A set which has no element, can we give an example of a set which has a definition, but we won't be able to get any example for that? There are so many actually. We are writing some of them. Let us take a set A which is defined as x such that x is 1 is less than x is less than 2. That means we are talking about all those numbers which are lying in between 1 and 2. Then further we put a constant on the value of x that it should be belonging to the group of natural number. We have studied what n denotes here. N denotes here the group of natural numbers. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we see this set, we can easily decide that there is no natural number which will be lying in between 1 and 2. So we won't be able to write any element for it, and this will be like this one. Let us consider another set B which is defined like n such that n belongs to Q. Q is for rational numbers, and n square minus 2 is equal to 0. Now the thing is, n square minus 2 is equal to 0 is an equation. When we will solve it, we will get n is equal to plus minus root 2. N square minus 2 is equal to 0 implies n is equal to plus minus root 2. Now plus minus root 2 is both of them are not the rational numbers. So again we will we won't be able to write any element for this, and ultimately it will be an empty set there. Again consider set C which is defined as y such that y is the name of weekdays in English. Weekdays in English starting or beginning with A. Now if you look the names of the days in a week, no day starts with the letter A. So we won't be able to write any element for this. This will be this empty set, or by symbol we will represent it as 5. So we have seen examples of empty sets there. Let us consider one more example. It is let us represent it by D, and it is Z such that Z square minus 9 is equal to 0, and Z is an even integer. Now we know even integer. Now we know if we solve the given equation Z square minus 9 is equal to 0, we will obtain plus minus 3. Z is equal to plus minus 3. From here we will get Z is equal to plus minus 3. And are plus minus 3 even numbers, even integers? No, they are not even integers. They are odd integers. So they are odd integers. So we again want to be able to write any element for this, and it will be 5. So empty set we have already defined. Now we will define one more thing, that is the cardinal number of a set. How we define cardinal number of a set? cardinal number of a set is the representation of total number of elements in a set. That means if we have, let A is equal to A, B, C, D, then its cardinal number is 4. And for an empty set, what will be the cardinal number? So for an empty set, n phi, if we have written an empty set, we cannot write it like this one, because phi, if we put it inside of the bracket, it will not be a set again. It will be considered as an element there. Phi, actually elements, symbols can also be the elements of a set. Let us suppose we have a set in which we have B, phi, theta, alpha, beta, gamma. These are also considered as elements of the set B, and in this case cardinal number for the set B will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it is 5. Now cardinal number for that we will need to write in words. I think it will be cardinal number, it will be better, cardinal number of an empty set, cardinal number of an empty set is equal to 0. That means we won't have any element there for the empty set, so cardinal number will be 0. Let us now define finite and infinite set. Finite set, as name suggests us, will have some finite element there. That means if we can represent the total number of a set, total number of elements of a set by a natural number, then that will be considered as a finite set. That means what happened here? The total number of elements, can be given a natural number, So finite sets are many. Actually, population of world is also a finite set. All the people living on this earth is also a finite set. All the creatures living in the whole universe will be considered as a finite set, because we can assign a natural number. How big it can be? It will be very huge, very large, but it can be represented by a natural number. So we have finite number, total number of elements can be given a natural number, and infinite set, it is actually we cannot assign any natural number for the number of elements of this set. For example, let us consider set of natural numbers. Now natural numbers we had like this one, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Can we decide how many elements we are going to get from this set? It is going on. Actually, we cannot find the largest natural number, and so we won't be able to assign a natural number for the total number of elements of this set. Similarly, if we consider the set of whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, real numbers, all are infinite sets. So it will be natural number, then we have whole number, integers, rational numbers, real numbers, all are infinite sets. So I think you have understood the concept of finite and infinite sets. So we will actually formally define the finite set. A set either empty or having some finite number of elements is called a finite set. Now empty sets are also considered as finite set. Never get confusion for that, because we can assign a number, the whole number, because 0 is not a natural number, but we can assign a whole number here and it will be finite. It will be considered as finite. And we have seen that what infinite sets are there. So we have both the examples with us. Mostly the number systems are considered as infinite sets. Otherwise, mostly are considered as finite sets there. So we now know the concepts of finite sets and infinite sets. Let us now take the next topic, that is equal sets and equivalent sets. Equal sets are defined as two sets having same number of elements and exactly same elements. Their orders can be different, but the same numbers must be there. That means if we consider a set A which has 1, 2, 3 and B which has 2, 1, 3, then these two sets we have considered are equal and they will be denoted by A is equal to B. Now here comes one more thing, that here the orders are not same. Then we have a question whether the orders of elements, while we write the elements for a set, orders matter or not. Actually orders do not matter for the elements while we write the sets in roster form. So it will be 2, 1, 3 and 1, 2, 3 both will be equal. Only we need to consider that each element of A must be the element of B and each element of B must be element of A and vice versa. That means A should be equal to B. Now we have defined equal sets there. Now we will define equivalent sets. What equivalent sets mean? Again we will have two sets. Those will be considered as equivalent sets. Let us consider another set C which has A, B, C. Now is A equal to C? No, because their elements are not same. Is B equal to C? No, they are not equal because they don't have the same elements there. But if we consider cardinal numbers, NA is equal to 3, NB is equal to 3, NC is equal to 3. What does this mean? We have same cardinal numbers for all the three sets we have considered. That means they are equivalent sets. So A, B and C are equivalent sets. A, B and C are equivalent sets. That means equivalent sets, equal sets. Equal sets will always be equivalent, but equivalent sets may or may not be equal. So equality guarantees equivalent, but equality guarantees equivalence, but equivalence does not guarantee equality. So we have now acquainted ourselves with equal sets, with the concept of equal sets and equivalent sets. Let us discuss some questions now. Question number 1 is, state which of the following sets are finite or infinite. The first part is X such that X belongs to Part 1 is x such that x belongs to n and x minus 1 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. We need to write it in roster form to decide whether the sets are finite or infinite. If we can write all the elements in a set, that means it will be finite, otherwise it will be considered as infinite. So we will write the solutions. First part is x such that x belongs to natural numbers and x minus 1 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now we have x minus 1 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 1 and x minus 2 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 2. What does this mean? There are two elements for this set. So one has the set represented by part 1 of the question has two elements 1 and 2. So it is finite set. Now let us consider second part. Second part of the question is x such that x belongs to n and x square, x such that x belongs to set of natural numbers and x square is equal to 4. Now if we solve it, it will be x square is equal to 4 implies x is equal to plus minus 2. Now minus 2 will be discarded as we are considering x as natural numbers. So we will have only one element and that is 2, but still it will be a finite set because it has number of elements 1. Now we will consider third part. Third part is x such that x belongs to the set of natural numbers and 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now we will solve 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. When 2x minus 1 will be solved, it will give us 1 by 2. And does this mean that we have obtained a natural number? No, x is equal to 1 by 2, which is not a natural number. So we will have an empty set in this case. This is another example of empty set. We have considered so many examples of empty sets and this is another example for empty set. Now we have fourth part and yes, we will have this one as finite set because we have defined a finite set as an empty set or a set having finite number of elements there. Let us consider fourth part. It is x such that x belongs to natural number, x such that x belongs to set of natural numbers and x is prime. Now we know that the prime numbers are unlimited, that means infinite. So the set of prime numbers will also be infinite. So we will write here infinite prime numbers. Set of prime numbers are infinite sets. Now we will consider fifth part and it is x such that x belongs to the set of natural number again and x is odd. Now if we write in roster form, it will go like 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. So these three dots at the end are indicative of we are talking about a set which has so many elements that we cannot represent them here, and since there is no end point there, so this is an infinite set. So it is an infinite set. Let us consider another question. Another question reads like, find the pairs of equal sets if any. give regions. Now we need to get pairs of equal sets out of these sets given here. We have 5 sets there, and we will need to write all of them in roster form wherever they are not in roster form there. So we will write it like A is already given in roster forms, so we need not to write it again. We will just write we will write it, we will copy it in fact. And then we have B. It is x such that x is greater than 15 and x is less than 5. Now is it possible for us to get a number which is greater than 5, less than 5 and greater than 15 simultaneously? It is not possible, so we will have an empty set here. We have set C there, and it is x such that x is equal to 5 there. X minus 5 is equal to 0 will give us x is equal to 5. So C will have only one element, and remember, set having one element, only one element is called a singleton set. A singleton set. So it is a singleton set. This is only for conceptual purpose. We won't write this in the solution. Now we will have D. D is equal to x. X square is equal to 25. That means x is equal to minus 5 and plus 5 there. For plus we usually don't write that sign. For minus we need to. And then we have E, fifth set. X such that x is an integer positive root of integral positive root of the equation x square minus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. Now if we solve x square minus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0, we will have x square minus 5x plus 3x minus 15 is equal to 0, as they are splitted middle term there. When we add them we will get minus 2. I hope you all know how to split the middle term and factorize. So we have x common from the first two terms, then we have 3 as common from the next two terms, and it is equal to 0. So we have x minus 5 as one factor, x plus 3 as another factor, and when we equate them it is 5 and minus 3 will be there. So we have obtained two numbers here, and since we need to consider an integral positive root of, that means whatever the solution will be, it should be positive and integer. So 5 qualifies, only 5 qualifies for that. Now when we consider all these 5 sets A, B, C, D and E, we will easily decide that only pair C and D are equal. So we have C is equal to D. These are the pair of two sets C and E are equal. Actually C and E are equal. You can see C has 5 and E has 5. Though D has also 5, but it has two elements. One other element is also there, minus 5, as minus 5. So C and E are equal. So we will write C and E are equal. Now find the pairs of equal sets, if any. So we have each element of C belonging to each element of E, therefore C and E are equal. And this is the justification also, as they have only one element and they have same elements. So only pair C and E are equal as they have some elements in them. They have some elements in them, so they are equal. Let us consider another question. Which of the following pairs of sets are equal? Justify your answer. Now again, to know the pairs of sets equal, we need to write them in roster form wherever they are not written in roster forms. X, the set of letters of LOI. Now we have that definition of sets in which we had what? The set of group of distinct objects, well defined group of distinct objects. So now we will consider only the distinct letters of LOI. So we will have A, L. Now we have already written L, so second L will not be added here, and it is ALOY will be there for set X. Now for set B, we will have loyal. L will be written, O will be written, Y will be written, and A will be written. Again, this L will not be counted as we have written this L before here. So now we will see both of them. We will consider each element one by one. A, we will see A is there, L is there, O is there, Y is there, and no element from here or no element from here is such that it is not belonging to the other. So since each element of X, each element of X is also an element of each element of X is an element of B, therefore X is equal to B. That means this pair is equal. Now we will look the second part. Second part is A. We will try to write in roster form. Now we have n such that n belongs to integers and n square is less than equal to 4. Now we have at n square less than equal to 4. So we will have 2, -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. There will be 5 elements of set A which are represented by the given definition there. Now we will consider the set B. For set B we have X such that X belongs to R. B is X such that X belongs to R and X square minus 3X. Now X square minus 3X plus 2 equal to 0. When solved it will be solved like this one. It will be minus 2x minus x plus 2 equal to 0. Now we can take x common from the first two terms. It will be x minus 2 minus 1, x minus 2 is equal to 0, and x minus 2 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we have x is equal to 2 and 1. So B has two elements, 2 and 1. So we will write here 1, 2. Though not necessary to write in that order, or some specific orders are being followed, we all know. So it will be 1, 2. Now we will compare them. Since minus 2 belongs to A, but minus 2 does not belong to B. Therefore, A is not equal to B. That means these two sets are not equal. That means this pair is not equal. So A is not equal to B we will write.